Hi guys, this is Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm using another awesome digital kit from TaylorMade Cards for You. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. And make sure that you also hit the bell so you'll get a reminder every time I upload a new video. You'll also want to check out Crafters Castle's monthly challenge. The challenge is Anything Goes and is solely sponsored by TaylorMade Cards for You. This month's prize is the Under the Boardwalk digital kit that I'm using for today's project, which means that the challenge is open worldwide. Check the description box below for more information as well as a link so you can buy it. By the way, stick around till the end of the video. I have a coupon code for you to get 20% off of your purchase at TaylorMade Cards for You. I was inspired by some of the cards that I've seen recently using paper piecing and thought it would look pretty cool to create a sun rays background from a couple of the pattern papers that are in this kit. But I didn't have a die for this, and I didn't really trust myself to cut everything straight freehand, so I made a template. I saved it as a PNG, so you can download it from my blog if you want to try this too. I'm using Microsoft Word to get everything ready for printing. First, I brought in the Sunrays template by dragging it into my document. Then I brought the kit image that I wanted to use as a background on my card. It includes two backgrounds, one with stripes, the other with bubbles. Since my template is for a horizontal card, I rotated the kit image so that the images would line up. For all of these images, I have the layout settings in Microsoft Word set as behind text. That made it much easier for me to arrange and layer the images. So that I could see how it layered, I lowered the opacity on one of the images. Now I can line everything up so that the template fits within the background image. Once the first one was positioned correctly, I duplicated the template and positioned it within the second background. I decided to print everything double-sided. That way I can get clean cuts and not have all of those lines showing on my card. To do this, I inserted a new page into the document and moved the templates to the same position on that new page. It looks like my camera wasn't on for a bit. I printed out the page and cut everything out with my paper trimmer. Then I used some Stick It double-sided adhesive and adhered the sunburst onto two 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card panels and stuck all of the pieces down, alternating the patterns. Then I trimmed the panels slightly smaller so that there would be a white border from my card base when I adhered it down later. Now for the fun stuff. I printed all of the ephemera pieces from the kit onto some copy paper before I got in that 65-pound cardstock that I'll be using from now on, and I cut them all out. I love this pretty beach scene and the boardwalk sign, so I'll use them for this card. A friend of mine that used to make cards was destashing and gave me a bunch of stuff, including several of her embossing powders. I inked the edges of the beach scene with this embossing ink Dauber and covered that with silver powder that she had given me. Then I did a real thin border on the boardwalk sign, again in that silver embossing powder. Since the ephemera was printed on copy paper, I glued the pieces to a piece of cardstock using a glue stick. To be honest, I probably should have done this before embossing, but I didn't think of it in time. Then I started playing around with some of those other embossing powders that she had given me. This one is called Pirate Gold, and it's from Stampin' Stuff. I have no idea if it's still around, but I love this cool color. It kind of looks like tarnished metal, like it's been exposed to seawater a bit too long, and I love how it turned out layered over the silver. Since it looked so cool on that Boardwalk sign, I had to try it on this other image too. So I'm just using that letterette pen and marking on there just different places to add the embossing powder. I have to admit, this did take a while because I just kept on layering and layering, going back and forth between the silver and that pirate gold, but I really think it turned out pretty cool. Almost as if it was a sign that was trimmed in silver but had been left out at the ocean, like you would expect if you're down by the beach and have a boardwalk nearby. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Then I'm taking another one of her powders. This one I'm going to use lining the umbrella, so I just drew a little line on that, and one of the powders she gave me was kind of a sparkly iridescent. I don't know what the colors on some of these are, but I'm going to use them up until they're gone. So I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss that just to give a little bit of extra definition to that umbrella. And I think that sparkle just adds that last extra touch that this needed. So pretty. So now I'm going to start putting this card together. I grabbed a couple of brads and I'm going to attach that boardwalk sign to my card base with those silver brads. And now I'm going to adhere that girl on the beach scene with some foam tape to the front of the card. love the way that this card turned out. Please be sure to check out the other projects from our design team at TaylorMade Cards for You. As a bonus, Monica has generously provided a discount code for you. I'd love to see what you guys create, so come find me over on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and show me your creations. I've left some links down in the description below. Here are some other videos that you may be interested in. Thanks again for dropping by, and happy crafting. And remember, if I can make it, you can too.